All right, so this video is going to show you how to make the Lewis dot diagrams and structural diagrams that you need to do in your science notebook today. So we're going to actually first start with just reviewing how to make the Lewis dot diagrams for our carbons, oxygens, hydrogens, and nitrogens. And for that, we need to know those valence electrons from our periodic table. So if we look over at our periodic table, we find that carbon has 4 valence electrons, nitrogen has 5, oxygen has 6, and hydrogen has 1. So we're just going to draw those, and we draw the electrons as dots that go around kind of in a square around our element symbol. So that's carbon, oxygen, has 6, hydrogen's super easy, 1, and nitrogen with the valence electrons of 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we kind of have like what we're working with. Kind of think of this as our ingredients as we build our molecules. Okay, so now we're going to come and figure out how many bonds we're going to have with our different elements. So I've got water here. Water has the formula of H2O, which means I'm going to have 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogens in my formula and in my modeling. Generally, if you only have 1 atom, you're going to put that in the middle and everybody else is going to bond to it. It's a general rule, doesn't always work that way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to smush these guys together and show some bonding, and then I'm going to get creative with where I put my elements or where I put my electrons. Because I know my basic ingredients now. And I'm going to move that guy over there to show that bonding. This hydrogen electron just kind of needs to come move over here to show that bonding. And then we're left with 2 pairs, or 4 total, of non-bonding electrons around the oxygens. And here hydrogen has no bonding electrons left, and hydrogen over here doesn't have any bonding electrons left. So this is how you show the Lewis structure. And right here is where we're showing where that sharing is happening. Okay. Now we can turn these sharings into lines that we show as bonds. Okay, so the way we do that is we still have our hydrogens, we have our oxygens with our non-bonding electrons shown, but instead of putting 2 dots here, we're going to have them represent a line. Okay, and so now what we want to do is we want to check our work. Hydrogen is the only element, along with helium, that's happy to have 2. So hydrogen has 2 because each line counts as 2. Hydrogen over here has 2. Oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So everybody is happy now. So let's see how this happens with a double bond. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do carbon dioxide. So looking at our formula, we have 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. So I've got my ingredients. My single, the one that only has 1 of, is going to go in the middle, and my oxygens are going to go on the sides here. And so now it's time to just kind of get creative with where these electrons are going to go. Think of these electron dots as my ingredients, and then I can rearrange them and show all the sharing as I wish. So if I do a single bond with oxygen, let's just show a single bond with this oxygen and this oxygen to this carbon, no one's happy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So we're going to double bond it. So I'm going to move this electron here and this oops, I forgot to undo that. and this electron here for a double bond. And I'm going to double bond it over here. And so what I've got here, let's just see if everybody's happy before we clean up where our dots are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So everybody's happy. I'm just going to clean things up because once everybody's happy, our electrons are in pairs now. And so I'm going to clean that up there, and just kind of do it like that. So I have carbon dioxide showing now a double bond. The way to show that with a structural diagram is I'm going to bring my carbon out and my oxygen's out. Notice I still have my non-bonding pairs of electrons here. And then I'm going to draw my lines for a bond. But it's a double bond, so I'm going to draw 2 lines now. And now I have my Lewis dot diagram along with the structural diagram for carbon dioxide. So let's see how this works with a triple bond. Okay, so an example of a triple bond is found with carbon monoxide, not to be confused with carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide only has 1 oxygen. So I've got a carbon and I've got an oxygen here. And I know I'm going to bond them up, so I'm going to start by them having a single bond here. But no one's happy again. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to get it to the octet. So I'm going to rearrange the electrons until I've got what I need. So I'm going to try a double bond, see what happens. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oxygen has 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but no one's happy, so we're going to keep double bonding these guys up. All right, but this time I kind of made the electrons share a little bit more with the carbon, so I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then clean it up. So we show the bonding pairs, non-bonding electrons paired up, and then we have 3 sets in here. Show it as a structural formula. I have carbon with its non-bonding pair there, and oxygen with its non-bonding pair there. And this time I draw 3 lines to represent each of the bonds. So there you go. There is your video on how to make both the Lewis diagrams and the structural diagrams for our elements. So go ahead and practice those now on your worksheet. Be sure to check in with your teacher if you're stuck or just want your work checked.